I would, I stumbled on a phrase earlier that I think I'm going to run with, which is impassioned, imperfect. It's like impassionedly imperfect. We really commit and take these big swings towards ideas that are like misshapen and flawed and ignore the formal principles of art, and it's just really trying to emulate teenagers and the way they think and they draw and the way that they make art before they've been taught to make better art. It's just like raw, unfiltered expression. Part of it is in the like the camera work, like when they're just hanging out, we're like long takes, shaky cam, experiential. You're just kind of like a fly on the wall, hanging out with these four people talking over each other. And when they switch into action mode, when they're doing a good job, it's almost as if like the filmmaking is improving in conjunction with them, and it's like we get more dynamic with the angles and try to get more exciting with it. But I think all of the techniques, both in the visual look, in the filmmaking, in the editing, are just all there to support the story of these like four brothers kind of coming of age and trying to find their place in the world. It's such a dream come true, and I'm such a fan of their work, and you're right, like they're so funny, and it's like, oh yeah, Seth, of course he's funny, he's like a comedian, but no one's perfect, he's not funny all the time, and he is funny all of the time. He's just like the funniest person, and I think he often plays like an everyman, like just like a normal dude, but he is like so smart also and sharp about story, and his notes and his thoughts would always kind of steer towards like, how do I make this more logical, and how do I make the characters feel more real? Like, they weren't like comedy notes, like make it funnier, make it punchier. They're like, how do I invest more in character? And when you look at their body of work, I think that's what makes it really stand out. Like, like Superbad was a popular film because it was a funny film, but it's an enduring film because they feel like real teenagers, and I think it says something about the human experience. And I think Seth and Evan are really good observers of that and are really good at writing that back into what they do. And it was just so nice to be able to collaborate with them and watch them pitch ideas and pitch ideas with them. It was incredible. I'm wholly unconcerned with those people who don't like it. That's, I would ask them to investigate their own thoughts about why they don't like it. But you really hit the nail on the head. Like, it's a New York film. It needs to feel like New York, and April needs to feel like a real teenager in New York, and historically that character has been like a weird, like, mom, friend, love interest, and we're like, no, April is like one of the kids. She's a teen like them. She needs to be able to relate to them, and she needs to represent New York and what that means to the Turtles. So that was the thing that we decided early on, and it's just, no one on the filmmaking side questioned it. We're like, great, this is a great April, cool, go with it. And then the internet does what the internet does. The thing that's always been interesting to me about Splinter that is not the angle that ever gets explored is like, he's like an adoptive father and he's a single dad, and he's like raising four kids, and I'm like, that's an emotional story, and they're like this non-traditional family that like I don't see reflected. I come from a similar non-traditional family, and I don't like see that reflected in kids media. So it's like, that has to be the direction on Splinter, and we have to lean into that. And if only there was a martial arts master who is also like warm and affable and friendly and like this can play this loving father. Oh shit, Jackie Chan. Like we got him, and we kind of just were like, you know, play it like a dad, like a concerned dad, and even when Jackie Chan is angry or being stern, he's lovable and likable. And yeah, Ice Cube like is so funny. Like he improvised so much, and it makes sense because he's like a writer. He's written amazing films, and he's also like a master lyricist. Like, of course, he's like the funniest writer. But you know, he would watch Ninja Turtles with his kids when they were growing up, so he came to it with like a personal connection, and like was really dedicated and was it was so fun to work with. They're both really, really great. I 100% support the actors and the writers who are striking right now. And if the inconvenience of doing this alone is a small price to pay to support them in what's a really important issue right now. And the business has changed a lot. And it's really important that the artists making like content has never been better, and it's important that the artists making that are compensated fairly for the work they're doing. So I hope the people with the power to make decisions about these things make a reasonable conclusion sooner than later, because the quicker it ends, the quicker we can all get back to making more great stuff under better and fairer conditions.